Good day. I'm standing in Whattsup Whattsup fishing shop in Oranje, and to answer the question everybody asks me is what gear do I need to bring when I come fishing in the Oranje River, Orange River. Sorry for my English, I speak the taal very deliciously. So I'm just quickly going to run through two setups. You will see that I will mainly concentrate on a spinning setup, not a casting setup or a bait caster. The reason for bait casters is I do fish with them, but we normally fish with Rapala lures. Let me just get them. We normally fish with Rapala lures. We fish these a lot. These are the Rapala X-Lights. They weigh 4 grams. Casting them with a bait caster is just really difficult to get the distance and the accuracy, so we prefer using a spinning setup. This is my favorite rod from Sensation, the Power Plus Finesse. It's a 6'6" rod. I've got a Shimano reel on it, about the 3000 size, 15-pound braid, and a leader. I will get through the setups just now. But I also use a smaller version of the same rod. I also use the Sensation Power Plus, the Finesse in a 5.6. It's a small little rod. It works beautifully when on the kayak or just scratching around in the margins. Beautiful little rod, but you can handle big fish with a nice backbone also. And then one of my favorites is the 13 fishing relay. Just got a bait protector. This is very handy when you're traveling in a car. The hooks doesn't grab you, damage your seats in the car. This is a 6.6 length. You get them in 6.6, 7 point something. Doesn't really matter, but the 6.6 is my favorite. Really excellent little rod. I pair them with the Akuma Seymour. This is a C30, also again 15-pound braid, and the leader I'll just go through just now. When fishing for catfish, I do love using a bait caster. This is on an Abu Garcia Vengeance rod. It's paired with the Abu Garcia Aura winch. It's a really heavy-duty reel. It's been doing service for at least 7 years with me now. It works still perfectly. I've landed lots of catfish with this one. But the most versatile setup is the Sensation Power Plus, the heavy line setup, paired with the Akuma Seymour C55. It's got an excellent drag system, and you can put at least 300 meters of 50-pound braid on this reel. Works beautifully. I use it on my kayaks as well from the banks. Available in shop here, we have the 13 fishing relay with the 13 fishing reel. They're beautiful. I've got 3 setups like this. Excellent value for money. Again, for the catfish, the heavier setup, the Power Plus, the heavy with the Akuma Seymour reel. An excellent little rods is the Akuma Recon. They retail for 1,200. It's a beautiful little rod, excellent. So it's a little bit more expensive. It's a one-piece, beautiful rod. And then we also have the Akuma Wave, and they retail for 420 rand, 420. So, and this is a 2-piece rod. Both excellent rods. Depending on your budget, there's a good selection here. Right. Next thing is braid. This is the braid I prefer. It's SFX 8-strand. They also have the Boss braid, it's also 8-strand, as well as titanium, also 8-strand. All 3 excellent choice. Really good. So they go directly onto the reel. I don't use a backing, I put them directly onto the reel. And then you can put a backing on if you want to. If you buy braided line, you have always the option of a green line, or a yellow, or even orange. I fish all three of those colors. It doesn't really matter the color. The reason for that is we tie in the leader. There's my leader. This one is a little bit short already, so it needs to be replaced. It's about 40 centimeters. Normally I will tie it in about 60 centimeters, maybe a meter, but I just tie it directly onto my braided line. There you can see on my thumb, the knot, just a double clinch knot. I can show the knot later, and it's just directly on the lure. But then I use Maxima. When I've got a 15-pound braid, I will use a 12-pound leader, and I don't use clips onto the lures. I tie it directly onto the lures. You can use clips, but not on the small lures. The small lures like the Rapala, the X-Lite, I prefer using them without lures, just to have the best action in the water. When you go to a bigger lure, like for instance the Shad Dancer, if you've got a line clip on it, a lure clip on it, it won't make a difference. It makes it easier to change around if you want to change lures. But on the small lures, you just tie in directly. And when catching catfish, I love to use, this is a 0.40. You can go up to 0.55. I prefer a 0.55 mono or nylon line, and the leader or the setup will be at least half a meter. Lure selection. What do we use in the Orange River? One of my favorites, probably my favorite, is the Rapala, the X-Lite Minnow. It's new on the market. It will be out now in most of the shops. It will come out. Rapala just received a stock. So, just to give you an indication, this little lure sells for 165 Rand in the shop. What makes this special is it's a slow sinking lure. So you can throw it basically the same way as you will throw the Rapala, the solid shad. So when you throw it into fast flowing shallow water, you will also cover that shallow water without getting snagged. But if you've got deeper water, you don't need to change the lure. You can just throw it into the water and give it, let's say you want to let it go down 3 meters, you give it like 3-4 seconds, and it will be plus minus on that depth, and you can do your retrieve. So it's a really versatile little lure, and it works beautifully. Then we go to the Rapala X-Lite. We get them in two different lures, the shallow runner as well as the mid runner. Just look at my social media. I've been using them most of the time. They're really winners for us. They've made such a difference in our fishing. Main reason why we use lures that doesn't snag easily is when we fish in shallow waters, we don't need to, when a lure snags in shallow water and your fish is in a certain area and you need to walk into that area to loosen your lure, we normally chase the fish away. And with these lures, they just so seldom snag that it's really not an issue that you chase fish out of the areas that you fish. And this is a game changer. It hasn't got the best action, but the way they fish and the way you can present them over and over in a stream just makes them such absolute winners. If you want to fish a lure with the best action, for me, I go to the DT4, Rapala DT4, or the Shad Dancer. I use both of them for casting as well as trolling. and they work beautifully. They've got a big wobble action, not a fast action, it's a slow wobble action, while your X-Lights has got a faster action. But I won't use these lures in shallow water because they get stuck very easily, and then I chase the fish out. Except when I know in areas where there's rocky parts and I know there's big fish there, and I target one fish in an area, there's not a lot of fish all over, yes, then they will work great. But for fishing lots of fish, your Rapala X-Lights is just the winner. But these ones, like I said, trolling as well as casting, beautiful. And then the Rapala Solid Shad, it's not a trolling lure, but I love trolling with it also, because when I throw it out and I start trolling, I can start off in a very shallow area and troll that area, and as soon as I know I've hit deeper water, I can just pause on the rowing or my motor that I'm using for trolling, and the lure will sink down, it will go deeper down, so I control the next water. So this gives me flexibility when trolling. Not meant for that, it's actually meant for casting, but yeah, it works brilliantly. You will see that most of my lures, actually all my lures, is changed now to singles, inline hooks. These singles comes from VMC. It's supplied by Rapala, South Africa, VMC inline hooks. And these are really game changer. The mangrove hooks, I've used a lighter gauge hook in the past, and I had really a lot of misses. But with the mangrove hooks, you've got a thicker gauge hook, and the setup rate, the hookup rate, is nearly as good as using trebles. And the reason why we avoid using trebles on yellows is because we don't want to hurt the fish, we don't want to damage them. So the way or the tool that you will use is one of these Rapala mini splits. It's a mini split ring tool. So these split rings, the tool opens the split rings so that you can take off your trebles and put on your mangroves. Beautiful, they work nice. A tip that I can give you when fishing with lures with inline hooks is normally when you fish with trebles, we prefer a looser drag. But because we have singles, it's got a micro barb on it, so if it sets, the hook is set, doesn't come out. But just tighten the drag a little bit, more than you would tighten your drag with trebles. And you don't have miss. Every hit will be perfect. When fishing catfish, already made up is the big cat poppers. It's already got a leader on, so you don't need to put leader on. You can tie the front end directly to your braid. The same with the Natsiness, the barber coffee. You can just tie it directly onto your line. It's got a swivel on top. The same with the big cat. So you don't need a leader there. But if you do your own setups, it's advisable go for a 0.55 or a 0.40 thickness. When catfishing, there's a couple of setups that I use. First, the popping, I've already showed that. Secondly, when we fish with bait, I'm talking muddy heads or muddy fillets. From the braided line, we'll use a swivel. Then goes the 0.50 or 0.55 mono leader. Above the swivel on the main line, I'll have just an inline lead. That's when I'm fishing on the bottom. A bottom that's sandy, that's not too snaggy. And then I use circle hooks, nice and big circle hooks, smaller when I use just a fillet, and then the big ones when I use a head. The other setup I love when fishing from the kayak is fishing with a float. These floats, they work brilliantly. So again, we'll just have the swivel, and on top of the main line, I'll put the float on, and then just a 30 centimeter mono line with my fillet or the head that's hanging below. And normally, let's say the water is 1.5 meter deep. I would like to present the bait just above the bottom. So if it's 1.5 meters, I'll go 1.2, 1.3 meters plus minus, and it will just give an excellent presentation. And it's fun to see this float just disappear on the surface of the water and your fights on. So yeah, they work beautiful. Now we get to gear that's important when fishing with lures. I always carry my hemostats around me with the lanyard, and they're always close by. But you can also use these small little gadgets. They're very inexpensive. It's like 15 Rand for these. You get a nicer one also. They're 100 Rand. What's nice about them, they've got you can remove hooks, but it's also got a nice braided scissor there, so you can cut your braided lines with them. Other option is the hemostats. Other option, small line, clipper. They also work very well. And then when catching catfish, this is really a nice tool to have. The catfish tend to get nasty. They can bite you and blood can flow. This is really nice on a kayak or from the bank. You just grab them in the mouth, it doesn't hurt them. You can handle the fish, do your focus, everything, and then the release is just as easy also. And obviously something else that's really important when you come fishing on the Orange River, nice hat, glasses, preferably polarized glasses. We do a lot of sight fishing, and polarized glasses just makes a huge difference. You can't really go without them, you need them. And then above, there's different kinds of buffs here, nice big ones, different colors. Clothing, look for a long sleeve shirt with really good sun protection. We've got beautiful ones here. Just another gadget I want to show you is these elastic bands from Fish SA, and they work beautifully on your roll of leader, so you can just pull it off and snip it off, and it doesn't untangle in your tackle box. Fish SA. Landing nets. Always use nice coated one to protect the fish. This is nice and deep. I've got, I think, 3 of them. Always have one of them with me. But this is my favorite. This is from Explorer. It's a floating fishing or a landing net, and they work beautifully, especially when fly fishing. But it's got a nice thing at the back, so you can put it on you with a lanyard or a magnet, easy access. Excellent. When fishing the Orange River, we've got lots of different bottoms. Most of the bottoms can really hurt your feet if you're not well protected. So these type of little shoes, they work nice when we go from the kayak, fish from the kayak. But the moment you step out into the rocks and stuff, then it's an issue. But on a kayak, just to protect your feet and have something on your feet, really nice. But what I use normally for my fishing is just normal boots. You buy them from hardware shops. You can see these guys work, And what I do is I just take a drill or something that I can warm up, heat up, and I will just make a little hole on each side. There's the other hole. So that when you're out of the water drains out, so you don't sloosh around with boots that's full of water. So these boots, instead of spending lots of money on wading boots, you can if you want to. You can wear socks. I wear them without socks, but if you use the neoprene socks, just buy your neoprene socks first, and then get a boot that will fit you after that you've got your neoprene socks. Otherwise, like I do, I just wear them without socks, bare feet. They protect your feet, and they last. My previous ones lasted me for about 4 years, and I think they retail about 350 rand. So get yourself one of these. Tackle boxes. My first choice is the Rapala, the one with the sponge inside. It's got little places where you just hook your lures into. Mine's a bit messy, like always. I just tend to throw them back and not put them in the right place. But this works beautifully. Other nice tackle boxes, these ones. They've got nice place for all the lures. You can put more than one lure in this place. Nice. And I travel when I do stream fishing with a little small backpack. I travel with a small backpack. Just put my stuff in there, and there's enough place for my leaders and maybe a cool drink, water, and phone goes in there. This is one option. Another very nice option that's available. This is from Fish SA. It's got enough storage space for your tackle box. And what's nice about it, it's got a rod holder. So when you're standing in the water and you need to change a lure or something, you can just pop your rod into it and have a hands-free operation doing the lure change. If you really want to go nice, you fish a lot and you've got lots of tackle, this is a really nice option. It's got storage boxes, tackle boxes inside. And they just pull out. You can just label them and everything will be organized. And on top there's also ample space for, it will also keep your cold drinks cold. Nice place for a phone or valuables, so also beautiful. It's got nice side pockets, nice back straps also. Just look at this. Sometimes we need to rest also, but the nice thing about this little chair is it's also a place to store all your tackle. Got a big compartment there. If you really get thirsty around the water, or you can put your tackle boxes in there. And look at this, at the back you've got straps, so you can carry it around in the water. Really nice. We also have nice combos available here. This is 460 rand for a rod plus a reel. It's already got line on it. This is more if you bring your children around and they just want to mess around. Small little rod breaks into 460 rand. And then this combo, this is from a Kuma, a Laris, it's called. And it's about 5.5, 6 foot. It retails for 650 rand. Excellent little combo. It's got a nice backbone on it, but a soft tip. So if you're just starting out, if you're local here in Oranje and you just want to start out with something inexpensive 460 Rand, sorry, 650 Rand. For buy this combo, you just need to put some braided line on it. Braided line is 350 Rand for about 300 meters. So 350 Rand for braid, plus 650, under $1,000. And then you can just add one or two the Rapala X slides, and it will be less than $1,000. With your favorite setup, get yourself a rod sock. Just goes over your rod, and it makes traveling safer for the rod, protects the eyes. The rod socks, and they're really inexpensive to protect your rods under the sock.